Man, definitely. I guess the statement that depending on the quarterback determines how I feel about this game definitely changed. I definitely feel some type of way after yesterday, but still a fan. So I'm still support. You just ain't gonna be talking no trash. I'm talking trash anyway, though. Yeah, I know what's up. What's always about to be. Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
Greetings and salutations. Episode title: Not living up to the standard. If you're watching the Miami game, it's awesome. Hopefully, you kind of got it like me. I'm not a Miami fan. I don't like Miami or Notre Dame. I do have the ESPN in the background though. Actually, I'm really trying to check out this Tuskegee game. So try to get some stuff, man. Bruh, at all. No excuses, man. Tough night. Man, I'm here, bruh. Did make it to the game. Well, that was a blessing. My daughter was like, I don't feel good. I was like, all right. Well, I'm on daddy duty, so travel plans got changed. So I was like, well, let me stay here. I got to definitely hit up the OBC folks, let them know. So what's up, little baby? Man, oh man. But yeah, not living up to the standard. Somebody that does live up to the standard, Rattler Boosters. Look, y'all give me a few weeks. Told y'all probably October for me. So October is gonna be a big month. Yeah. Also, St. Clever Rain. I'll see what we got coming on the show this week, man. Look, I gotta hit him back up, man. That is outgoing VP William Human for the Florida region hit me up right there. Trying to see is he going to the game. I think he's going. I might go, but I'm being a passenger king on that one. None of that princess garbage. Also, don't forget, we are doing the race to 10K for FAMU track. They never disappoint. Not when it counts. So, if you are so inclined, definitely feel free to click the little QR code there, scan in. Remember, all funds that we get go to them. So it never hits my pockets. It all gets funneled through the Fang Exchange. They are the ones that hold the funds, and then they make sure it gets transferred over to coach for us. So, But before we jump onto the frustrating news, man, FAMU volleyball. That's a stock photo. I can hold y'all. But I did go to one of the games. I think was that last year. I think 1 and 2 of the season. They played East Carolina. That was an L. But it was 3-0. So set wise, it wasn't close. Excuse me. And then for Hampton, we won. We beat Hampton, and then Maryland Shore we got an L. So yeah, man, it was okay weekend volleyball wise. Like, I'm cool with the East Carolina L. I never want to lose, but at the same point, I get it. Like, I can understand those type of things. That's okay. Now, as far as this football mess, bro, I'm not giving excuses, and I'm not taking excuses. If y'all watching the fifth quarter page, I was definitely heavily involved in the mean game, but also kind of being honest. Like, and he said, I'm glad I didn't spend the dope. Man, bro, because I was going to turn and burn it too. I was going to go and come right back. Man, 7 hours driving for that. That's tough. That's a tough road to hold out. Like, I'm just saying. I'm working on the show up no matter what side of me, going to do my best. Hey, I agree with that. I love that. I told y'all that FAU game's on the fence, man. Maybe if you're a Kane fan, Kane colors. Hey, I can't help that, man. I don't support no private schools in the state of Florida. but especially that one. they can always invest into me, but I'll make it a habit to invest in them. I know some good canes though. Don't sugarcoat nothing, Keith. Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no. I'm at it. Look, yeah. Bring back my AD, and yeah, keep 100. Look, we lost, man. I hate that. One thing I do love though, we do have the Georgia Football Classic. Go check out Mike Road Dog, justlookingout.com. Look, he's already got the packages already up there. Use promo code looking out. So use that. I'll go to the website, georgiafootballclassic.com. Use promo code looking out. Also, look, speak of Mike Road Dog. You could have rode back from Tampa with us. We were back at the Hard Rock one. Man, hey, like I told you, man, I'm on dad duty. Wife's on a cruise, so I was going dropping. And then it was like, nah, man, I'm just going to stay home with the kiddos. So, but I had to cancel a plan for one of them. So, but again, if you are going to Baton Rouge and then going to New Orleans, hit up Mike Road Dog, justlookingout.com. $79 per person. If you are going Bucks and the Saints, FAMU Southern, I ain't gonna lie. The Superdome is on my bucket list. I've never been to Superdome, never been to Super Bowl either, but I have been to New Orleans. So, and I've been to Southern as well. So, and I've been to a game at Southern. A.W. Mumford is one of the best venues to watch a college football game. Excuse the but by then, hopefully, we'll have some quarterback decisions being made. Now, before we get too deep into it, run your pool. I was 4-1. The only game I missed was the FAMU game. So, as y'all know, I did kind of go through and like this one, that one. But for the ones I actually picked, 4-1. Other ones, we'll see. So, and look, promo code is simply looking. My bad, looking. So, you have free run of the entire building until 10 p.m. Hey, just saying, take advantage of that. Good times, man. So, and look, get tickets before they fill up. Y'all know how this thing be going, man. Folks be going to these games, man. All right, so for the OBC, I had to rewatch it. And thankful to my FAMULY. We do have a little group chat that we do a little talking and conversing in. And it does help to talk. It does help to get those things out into the air before you get on the show. But then I did a rewatch of the game. First and foremost, my expectations were 34-20. That FAMU should have won this game. The reality was it was a 10-9 loss. That was an abject disaster. There's nothing nice you can say about the outcome. I will say some of the components of the game, special teams was fine. Except for the one blocked kick, special teams was amazing. Like everything that we said we wanted out of special teams, we got. I love the special teams. The kick return, you notice your notable kick returner was missing. We kept that under wraps for a reason. But there was a change in kick return duties. Didn't really miss a step. Kick return was solid, really good. Kicking was good. It was just special teams was good. Like 2/3 of the three aspects of the football game were really good. I mean, kickoff team was good. Like I said, field goals excluding the block was solid. Kickoff return, punt return, you look good. Even running like some new formations on special teams with the punt formation, which I kind of had some questions that I was like, that's different. I don't know how I feel about it, but different's not always wrong. That was cool. Defensively, I was good with the defense for most of the night. Like, you had some breakdowns, but that's going to happen. Like, you got a turnover, which was nice. Like, and for the most part, the defense kept you on the plus side of the field. So, Colsey, I can't take nothing away from you on that. Defensively, it was solid. Were there some missed tackles? Yeah, but that's going to happen. Like, you be watching this Miami game right now, they miss tackles. Like, modern football, the kids miss tackles. Like, I'm sorry. With the rules the way they are, you can't just knock a person out like how we used to back in our day. And honestly, I wasn't a knock him out guy. I was a wrap him up dude. I didn't miss a bunch of tackles because I wasn't trying to obliterate you. I was just trying to, lock and drag you down. That was it. I was the wrap you up guy. I was very the technical dude. You put me out there to tackle, I'll make the tackle. Like, that was kind of what I would do. Wasn't the best. Wasn't the dude that's going to knock your block off, but I was going to bring you down. So we had a few missed tackles, but overall, go back and watch the game. Run defense was pretty solid for the most part. The pass defense was pretty solid. Consider that first half, you were kind of out there for a minute. Now, the problem, I'm just saying. And look, this one right here. Ask coach twice, do you think your assessment of our OL ability and run block is accurate? I think so. This is where we get into the offense. Rushing game was strong early. I will contend with you and anybody else, though. I think the fact that you had an offense that made it such that you didn't have to worry about throwing the ball made it such that you didn't really respect the pass. I mean, yeah, the rushing lanes are going to get clogged, but it's just like any sport. Like, I'm not a strong basketball player. I tell people quick, like my students talk trash, and they be like, oh man, Mr. Hadley, we get on the court, I'll do you. And I say, you probably will. And they look at me crazy. I'm like, I'm not a basketball player. Like, we get on the football field, line it up though. I mean, I might not blow past you like back in the day, but yeah, you're not gonna handle me at the line. Like, all that physicalness, I'm gonna swat you real quick. It's an old swim move, and I'm gonna push you off. Hey, hit me on this slant. Let's go. Like, I got like 3 more years of that. I don't even line up with them boys like that. But again, I know what I'm good and I'm not good at. You get in basketball court and start getting me to dribble, you realize real quick, keep on dribbling. It's not my strong suit. I was always a hustle dude. Like, hey, I rebound, I'll get some putbacks. When I was young, I could dunk a little bit. That was it. Mostly I was passing. Hey, you get me the ball, I'm looking for the dude down the court. Like, I'm not trying to dribble. Same thing here. The quarterback wasn't passing. Like, go watch the first drive. He's missing open receivers. And Cozy admits that. Like, Cozy literally says, go watch the post game. He's admitted there are passes that RJ missed that the veteran probably just hit. Like, there's no pass game. Not that is extended beyond 10 or 15 yards. So why are you respecting the pass? So there are 7 and 8 guys in the box for most of the game. You're expecting 5 linemen, maybe a fullback, to move 7 guys in the box? That's not mathing. Just saying, like, but offensively, we were inept. Like, very much so. And constantly let the QB out of the containment, extending plays that would get you destroyed against average offense. Yeah, look, when you got a quarterback that needs 7-8 seconds every play to get the ball out of his hands, that's a problem. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, Jet couldn't have been that bad. Now, passing wise, RJ had some flashes early, but in that first drive, you're gonna see. Go back and rewatch it. You see a receiver literally down the field doing like this, like, bruh, you missed me. Like, he missed some open receivers. And even with missing some of the open receivers, some of the balls weren't placed in the right place. And it's not a harsh critique of the kid. That's one of the things, even, with all the stuff in the 5th quarter, it was like, yo, this isn't personal. But football-wise, you can't keep running that kid out there. Because what happens is now we as the fan base, you create that doubt of, okay, you see he's struggling. Even post-game, you admitted that the other quarterback probably would have hit some of those passes. But then you're saying, no, we're going to keep running him out there. We think he's the best option. And then I'll be honest with you, man, I don't think so. He asked, so is Jet going to play? He said eventually. Per Cozy's words, he said eventually we will see him. I got to take you at your word, but I also got to take you at what I've seen. Like, looking at that game, offensively, you left 20 plus points on the board. Like, these were my things with RJ. And I think he's got great potential. I think he's got good potential. I don't think for where he's at right now, the offense was schemed up to best suit the skill set he has in this moment, in this offense. I think you saw flashes, and I think at the end of the game, he showed you some stuff that like he can do this. But the problem was it was the end of the game. Like you should have probably, hey man, we're gonna revisit this against FAU and Albany State. Let's go with the guy I know can get the ball out there. Because the way that defense is playing, I can live with turnovers. The way FAMU's defense was playing, I could have lived with a mistake from Jet, especially with the field position you were getting. Like, I felt like there were multiple issues. One, plays weren't getting out in time and done. Like I saw, and I gave you credit. Somebody pointed out he wasn't wearing a wristband. I'm like, dang, you got a point. Most quarterbacks hit that wristband, hit like this, and look, like plays were taking too long to get in. It didn't work well. And one of the things RJ did really great was he hit the check down receivers, but past 20 yards wasn't it. Like, it just wasn't. And that's being honest. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not against the kid, and I know it probably seemed like I'm harping on it. And I couldn't do an instant reaction last night out of frustration because I watched the game. And then, like a lot of y'all, I listened to the post-game interview and I hit the ceiling. I was like, bro, what? Like, you think he was still the best option when everybody and his mama's seeing that he's not? Like, I talked to my pops and he was like, man, it's a problem when the fans see something that you don't. Like, and it's normally, we're always going to lean towards the backup quarterback in a situation like that, right? But it's when you're looking at the game and you're seeing, you're like, yo, the kid's struggling. Like, nobody cares about hurting a player's confidence. It's you're hurting the fan base's confidence because now you're about to affect the bottom line. Because at this point, nobody is going to pay good money to go watch that. Like, your defense gave up 10 points, and you lost. Like, statistically, we're going to run through this. This don't make sense. How do you lose a game where statistically you dominated every meaningful category except for one? Everyone. The only category you didn't dominate was penalties. And they missed penalties. Like, Howard had one more penalty than you. You had 6 penalties. They had 5 penalties. Like, Coach Tree said he sucked the kid. I can't see it. I can't say that. I can't see it. Thank you. End of the game, like I saw, somebody was like, hey, he had no turnovers. Look at the offense. It's vanilla. The offense is literally vanilla. Like, say what you want to about Coach Burris. He tried to coach around the problem. And the problem was you had a quarterback who couldn't do it that night. It was too much too early. Is he a bad quarterback? No. Is he ready for this right now? Absolutely not. Like, just saying. I'm trying to give Arjun grace. Hadn't played a game since high school. Didn't play in 2 years. FAMU's not a place to learn. I hate to say that. Like, in that game, that early in the season, in that atmosphere, that's not the game that you choose to die on the hill of we're going to run this kid out here and keep letting him get killed. Because we've seen experienced quarterbacks get benched in that game. I mean, Rashawn McKay for junior. I mean, Rashawn wasn't having his best game. Junior comes in. The offense is extremely limited. Like, Junior comes in and you can see the playbook is cutting a third, if that much. Like, but it was a spark. And Junior gets like another game or so. Then Rashawn takes it back over. Like, we've seen quarterbacks from FAMU get benched in the OBC. Like, I think that's what should have happened. Like, if we keep looking at the QB, we have OL issues. They aren't physical. I don't disagree about the O-line, but it's my thing. Miss me with the fact they can't block when they got a hold for 7 seconds. How long are they supposed to block? And then when there's 7 people in the box on a run play, how far are you going to get? There's 5 offensive linemen. You might have a tight end. You might have a fullback. but it's 7 in the box. It's 6 and 7 in the box for most of the game, especially once you get past the first quarter. How are you going to run when you haven't established anything to make them respect the pass? Part of creating the threat of the pass is so the defense backs up to extend those run lanes. Look at early in the game when Howard is playing honest, you actually get some nice runs. Thad Franklin has a really decent run early. Like you say later on when Bo gets that run, I believe a couple plays before, you get a decent little pass off. Like you can't run into a wall. Like I'm okay with anyone who wants to say the O-line wasn't great. I won't disagree with you that. But you also got a quarterback who's missing receivers. Like 3-second plays, like 3-step drops. He's still holding the ball. Like, okay, the O-line's, but they're not, an O-line's not going to hold for 20 seconds. It's not Cam Moore back there with UF or UM last year. You're not going to get that. Like, you got 3 to 10 seconds. After you get back there, 3 steps, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, a decision. If you're getting to 7 and 10 Mississippi and no decisions being made, that's not all on the O-line. And I'm not trying to say they played a perfect game, but if we're being honest, quarterbacks holding the ball too long. And we saw, go look at the NFL. That quarterback with the Browns and what that last preseason game looked like. Like, just saying, 2 first and goals inside the opponent's 5-yard line is all we got. I was screaming at the new QB from the middle of the second quarter to the end of the game. The whole section agreed. You weren't the only one. Like, it wasn't working. Like, that's again, the smart play. Switch them out. Just switch them out. Because what happens is, if he fails, then all of a sudden you're validated. Like, okay, that's the best quarterback. Keep him in there. But if he succeeds, you get a Musa McKay situation. Remember, Musa didn't start that season. It was Rashawn McKay. McKay gets hurt. And Musa takes over. The rest is history. Like, it was a hard-fought quarterback battle. McKay gets hurt. Never kind of gets back to playing, But in actuality, as a pure quarterback, Musa was the better pure quarterback. McKay was the better game manager. In this situation, you had the person that was the better athlete out there, but was he the better quarterback? Because this game was lost largely because of quarterback play. 6 penalties. Okay, they hurt. 6 penalties, I think it was 50-some yards. Y'all know how many penalties we were averaging? FAMU was one of the most penalized teams under the previous era. You can argue about discipline all you want. Discipline's different. Like, you ain't got to love Cozy, but you got to definitely look at the facts that the penalty yards are down. We haven't had a 100-yard penalty game in a while. 100-yard penalty games were the standard. Like, just saying. And look, exactly. It was a horrible showing by the offense. So I think the big thing, we dropped passes. That was a killer. We did drop passes, but all of them weren't well-thrown passes. Like, and Cozy's pick RJ. Bird's pick. You're not the only one to say that. I have heard that from multiple people. Like, oh, I did up Mr. Zach Ainsley later. I agree. I heard, look, FAU, Albany State should have been the games he came in. Again, that's my thing. Like with the OBC, for your fan base, that's a game you can't do that in. If he's struggling, pull him, switch quarterbacks, then okay, hey, come back in. And we've seen other coaches do that. Albany State, that's okay. Well, heck, we ran Junior out there against Lincoln and struggled, but he stayed the whole game. Like, thank you. You got to change it to spark the offense, because otherwise you're going to lose the players. You've already lost some of the fan base because it's already looking like, all right, next week you going to Boca? Not for that. Then are you going to Tallahassee for the Albany State game? I mean, they ain't the best team. Like you got people in this day and time, you're competing with the economics of the day. You're also competing with the fact that In order for me to get to Tallahassee, I'm just speaking for Keith. I passed the preeminent university in the state. Like, I got to pass through Gainesville, then pass by Florida State, and then get to Bragg. Not to mention, if I really wanted to, UCF's 40 minutes away. Cookman is an hour away. University of South Florida is an hour 30. So you're not just competing with our fan, whatever, our fandom. You're competing with the fact that these other schools have a viable product that I can go watch the same stuff and spend less money. I'm just saying. You can run 6 or 7 in the box. Look at the snap. You rarely see reestablish the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to ask. You realistically asking 6, 7 in the box? Sorry. Run plays? I mean, it can happen, but is it likely? Now, should the running backs probably run a little more aggressively towards the line? Probably. But at the same point, like, that's where you need that passing game, because a passing game where the quarterback is hitting those routes, all of a sudden it's 5-on-6. That's a difference, especially when you're running a lead back out there. I mean, you use your tight end as a fullback, like an H-back, and he actually was blocking pretty well. Like, at some point, we got to be rational about some of that. Just my opinion. Who the players want? Good question. I think they want the jet, but that's just me. I think by the end of the game, you saw the players are visibly frustrated, because football players, one thing about football players, they know what's not right. And they may not openly question the coach to his face, but when they get around each other, they're going to make decisions and ask questions. And it's going to come. Like, and the issue with this going forward, if you're going to keep playing this game, you can't string this kid along. I'm just going to say it now. You can't string Jet along in the era of the transfer portal, because what happened last year with your kickers? Your kickers had a good performance. They kind of saw the writing on the wall. They're like, honestly, I feel like them kids, the kickers knew better than anybody else that, hey, it wasn't going to be what it was going to be. Them boys saw they could get a better opportunity. Somebody hit them up, was like, yo, you hit this red shirt here, you're gone. And then you can go back and act like nothing happened. You don't think Jet's going to sit up there and do the same thing? I'm just saying, keep playing that game. Going into the third game of the season, again, you got this game, 1. You got the FAU game, 2. You got the Albany State game, 3. You don't think that kid by third game, he ain't getting no real PT? Won't sit there and be like, man, it was fun. I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm redshirting. And on top of that, I'm hitting the transfer portal next year. I'm just saying, like, at a certain place, you gotta be real what this is. Like, these kids are gonna be looking out for themselves. Like, players are pushing for someone else. It wasn't Jet Dog. Okay. Hey, I'm just saying, we didn't look like a team with Florida talent. We looked average due to play calling. That was like creativity on offense. I don't agree. I mean, I disagree. I think part of it was that quarterback play, though. You had to dumb down that offense, because you saw, man, the kid can check down all day, but them deep balls, just saying. And that might be what's behind sitting Jet and avoiding a national TV great performance. All the games on TV, though. Every FAMU game's on TV. So what do you get from holding them back? Like, every FAMU game is on TV. I think every FAMU game except for 2 are on ESPN, and those that aren't on ESPN are on HBCU Go. So every game's televised. There's no more hiding your talent from people by not playing them in big games. You just hurt yourself. Like, you are the second most televised team in the conference. I mean, tied for the most. FAMU and Jackson State, y'all are on every week. Somebody's network, and I think every team in the SWAC pretty much. There's no hiding the talent, man. Like you just kicking yourself in the behind. Now, for me, when it came to watching this game, the most damning part was you dominated stats. And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't do that. Like, don't hide your talent. Because I'm telling y'all right now, new leadership ain't loyal to the people that are there. And if you're not winning, especially when people are telling you the bottom line is why they are here, and you are in the bottom line business of athletics, like FAMU football carries the athletic budget. The OBC pays $400,000. The head coach gets paid about $200,000. Next year's year 3. I'm just saying. Like, folks quick to say, where you gonna find the money? It's $200,000. Not $1 million contract. You don't think. Okay. Anyways, but statistically, you dominated. Like, little baby. Folks did not look at the stats. Like, your quarterback completed 50% of his passes. That was solid. He got 183 yards. That was okay. Should have had about 250, but he missed like 4-5. Thad Franklin did drop that pass, though. Like, if Thad Franklin catches that pass, it's a better situation. But you dominated time of possession by like 10 minutes. Like, you dominated the time possession, and it wasn't close. You spent most of the game on the plus side of the field, and you got 9 points. You spent a majority of the game on Howard's side of the field or near their side of the field, and you got 9 points. That's ridiculous. Like, 3 field goals, and you got 1 blocked. Like, you couldn't muster 20 points? Like, we're really saying your offense with these weapons, yeah, you lost. You didn't have Ace Cobb. We knew that was coming. Couldn't get 20 points. And Goldie Lawrence had got hot for a minute. And all of a sudden, you're staring him down. You're not moving off to the others. Like, I'm just saying, it's 22 in attendance. I mean, I don't care about the attendance numbers. Nobody cares about the attendance. The attendance is not important because either way, they cut check. Like, if you're getting 22,000 and brag, and you're gonna make $400,000 at the end of the day, that's one thing. That's great. You made $22,000. I mean, excuse me, 400,000 plus, right? And they pay for the band, they pay for the football team, they pay for travel. Like, are you gonna make that much money when Howard comes to Tallahassee? I'm just asking out loud. Like, I've seen the argument. I know some of y'all looking at the optics and y'all upset. You took pictures of the stands, but you took pictures from the FAMU side looking at the Howard side. You knew them folks wasn't traveling. You watched the ONG Strike Zone? Did you see where your girl said they weren't expected to travel? Okay, they didn't travel. But guess what? We got paid. Like, it wasn't about the attendance. It was about making the money. You have to find a way to generate revenue. Like, the ticket sales are there. That's going to be what it's going to be. Not a lot of people from Tallahassee are going to make that 8-hour ride. But it's about the money. You got to figure out how to keep your athletic budget balanced. If you can make that kind of money having a home game, do it. If you can make that kind of money and get 60,000 in the stadium, do it. But at the end of the day, you, me, and everybody else know Howard is not going to bring that kind of revenue to brag. And what would have been worse was you would call that L at home. Because what really would have been the conversation? Like, FAMU side, just like every OBC, has a good number of people. It had probably 19,000, maybe the whole 20. Howard might have brought 1,000. We know this. You know this. Don't fall for it. Don't let the narrative get out of there. You cleared the check, right? You made about 400 in this first 2 games of the season. You're gonna clear because the band's not coming next week. You just bring the football team, right? You're gonna clear $500,000 to $600,000. Okay, like I'm not so prideful that the optics are gonna make me miss the mission. Like attendance is important because Kendra's funding is probably dependent upon butts and beds. If you don't get more folks to come and stay, you may not have OBC. I agree with that. But at this point, harping over the fact that Howard didn't bring nobody is not going to change anything. Bring somebody that's going to bring some people. We know this. Like, we know what schools ain't going to travel. Howard's not going to travel. Hampton's not going to travel. Valley's not going to travel. UAPB, not going to travel. There are certain schools you know aren't going to travel. The second you announce Howard is going to be in this game, you, me, and everyone else said, well, it's just going to be FAMU people there. Like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's a basis of this that is dependent on attendance. But from our end, you got to pick opponents that are going to get you in there. I mean, if you want to move the game, move it. But that's not our fault. That's not on FAMU. FAMU did what it was supposed to do. FAMU brought 20,000. Probably the whole 21. But if FAMU brought 20 and the other school brought 1, that's not FAMU's fault. If FAMU brought 20 and the other school brought 20 and you got 40, hey, that's a difference. But the venue's probably too large for the game. Like, let's be honest about that. But at the same point, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to get mad at the venue and the fact that 21,000 people showed up when I know FAMU brought 20. That's just what it is. Like, and we have a 5-year contract. It's a FAMU home game. Rattlers in the driver distance got to carry the event. You're not wrong. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, I told y'all, hey man, kid got sick. I stayed home. If it's a 2 to 3 hour ride, you need that. And I'm saying it like this. You got to finish the season strong for next year. Like, next year's OBC, you need 25-30. Otherwise, you might as well have the game at all. But you got to find a quality opponent that's going to bring some people. Because, just saying, that's not, and unless you're talking about moving the Florida Classic to Miami, you're not going to see the other side field. No. Only reason Jackson State was filled that year was because of Dion. That was the problem effect. Like, let's be honest. And the second year wasn't like the first year. The first year Dion was there, that 7-6. It was what, about 45, 50,000? That next year, about 30. We've seen it's the numbers are telling you the numbers, especially when, never mind. Like my point is we're losing locals who jump fences to 10 and they're not coming anymore. That too. In Miami, look, you watch right now, that game's filled. That's not, that's not helping. Like, again, when it comes to wins and losses, that's competition. Because in that same city, them same people, some of the people paid to go to that game and chose that game over the FAMU game. I mean, we just, we just being honest, And look, that's happened as soon as 3 schools opened up within the last 6 years in the area. Yeah. Like I said, for me to get to FAMU, it takes 3.5 hours to get to Tallahassee. In 3.5 hours, there are at least 5 football schools I can go to before I get to Tallahassee, before I get to FAMU. Let me say that. USF, FAU, UCF, Stetson, Cookman, UF. And I forgot Edward Waters. I listed 7 schools off the top of my head. that are less than 3.5 hours away. You're competing against those. Not to mention, you're competing against the pro teams like Tampa, Jacksonville, Miami. It's competition. You better win. Like, I'm just saying. Georgia Southern. I don't want Georgia Southern no more. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right. But back to the stats. You led in time of possession. You won that by 10 minutes. You led first downs. You led in total yards. You led in yards per pass. You won the turnover battle. You had more rushing yards. As much as people want to complain about the rushing yards, you had more rushing yards than Howard. You also had one more penalty. And the refs missed about 2. They did do a makeup call. But still. So, statistically, you should have won this game. Like, this is not the standard. Like, I don't, and I'm glad we didn't hear this ain't the damn standard this time, because it was known and it was clearly seen that what we saw against Howard is not the standard. Especially when, again, go back and watch that ONG Strike Zone episode from Thursday and list all of the things that these students have to do for them to be able to get transfer students. And you're looking at your roster and you're like, man, they couldn't bring in half the kids we brought in. Like, and we have a really good roster. Receiver-wise, you're missing your second, maybe best receiver. Still not a concern. Offensive line, you can complain about it all you want. It's actually decent. Defensive line looked good. Linebackers looked solid until that last drive. That was frustrating. Secondary looked a lot better. Like, secondary answered a lot of questions for me in that game. Granted, Howard's quarterback wasn't great. He did miss a few passes himself. But still, you go back and you watch that game, FAMU left points on the board. I felt like it was 25 plus points left on the board. But I will say this. I'm not going to take anything from Howard because FAMU didn't do diddly squat to win. They didn't do nothing to deserve to win as far as coaching-wise. And I think at the end of the day, some of this, you got outcoached. Because you had Howard's coach knew his limitations and said, is he the best quarterback? No. Is he serviceable? Yes. I think when you flip that thing around, you saw FAMU's coach say, is he limited? Yeah. But am I just going to keep pushing through? Yeah. I'm going to keep pushing it through because we got the talent to make it up. And then you didn't make it up. You came to the last second, kicked the field goal, 9-6, or what is it? 9-7 was seen as enough. I saw somebody put on Twitter, when did we get to the point where like 9 points was enough? Like, we talking about FAMU. We used to, as a fan base, we used to running a score up on people. We're not used to settling for less than 20 points. We're used to 20, 30-point offenses. Willie Simmons used to say, like, yo, these people used to high-powered offense. Like, defense is nice. These FAMU folks, they want points. And it's for a reason. Because you should rarely, and I almost said never, you should rarely lose a game where the defense gives up less than 14 points. That should be almost a never. Like, when the defense is giving up less than 14 points and keeps you on the positive side of the field most of the game, you dominate time possession, you have more first down, you dominate total yards, you win the turnover battle, you have more rushing yards than the other team. Why did you lose? At a certain place, you have to get out of your own way. We have to, say that in a nice way because they are friends of the show, and none of this is being personal, but it's being real. As a coaching staff, somebody got to get out of their own way because defensively, you had it. Defensively, you hit a home run. Offensively, You failed. You completely failed. There was an abject failure. Quarterback-wise, you're failing that kid. Stop running him out there and expecting him to make miracles happen because he ain't there yet. He may understand the offense. Junior Muratovic understood the offense. And I told y'all, and I was the biggest Juniors fan and biggest Junior stan, that look, my boy understands the offense, but when the lights come on, it's different. And we just saw that with RJ. When the lights came on, he could battle through it. And that's really cute. That's really nice to talk about. That's a beautiful end of the season story if you're going to just ride with that kid like that he battled through it. But FAMU is not a battle through it school. We're not. We are fickle as a fan base. I've said this many times before. And we are very results oriented. And when we see something's wrong and you're just going to bull your way through it, you are going to lose the fan base. And we talk with our wallets. And you are also in a place where the fan base ain't really rocking with the leadership. And they're not rocking with that outcome from yesterday. And we will fiscally take it out on you. Like, hey, we need more of this. We need that. Okay, that's great. But I need some wins. You can call people fair weather all you want to. I tell people quick, my mental health is more important than a lot of things. And what me and a lot of other people are really gonna like not be willing to do is to sit up here and get more gray hairs for a known loser. It's not gonna happen. I'm not a Cleveland Browns fan for a reason. I don't care how long they put Shiloh, Shador. They could put the whole Sanders family up there. I'm not gonna be a Cleveland Browns fan. And guess what? After Friday, man, the Dallas Cowboys can kick rocks. I'm a Cowboy fan, been a Cowboy fan forever. Man, F that with a side of fries. You traded the best player and got that for it? Man, please. I ain't worried about no Cowboys this year. I ain't even talking trash about the Cowboys. Bump them. I'm rocking with the Bucks. But again, that's me. And that's real. I don't support the Orlando Magic because they don't never do nothing enough to get a championship. They routinely get rid of their best. Like I make decisions team-wise that protect me. And so people gonna make that same decision. They're gonna sit up there and be like, man, I gotta pay for the season ticket, but I ain't going out there. I might go to homecoming, but that's it. I ain't going for this. I ain't going for that. Because whether they love your program or not, you're asking people to sacrifice. And the unfortunate part about sports is one of those things where I give so much and I really get nothing back. Like, if we're being honest, like, ignore all the FAMU stuff. Most of us from the Celebration Bowl got nothing from it. You got pride, you got bragging rights, but something tangible that was given to you, you didn't get anything. Nothing. So what do you really get from this? It's bragging rights. You get to talk trash. You put in and you support because you love it. Folks who are Miami fans right now, you loving this. 7-0. Miami's beating Notre Dame. You know, little tradition, little rivalry, but they ain't giving you nothing. In reality, you just get to talk trash. It's just pride. And I think that's where we really have to understand. Like, and thank you. FAMU is the top tier of HBCUs. That ain't the darn standard. 7 wins in this juncture with what your alumni invest, with the cooling chambers, the muscle milk, the practically brand new stadium, right? The way that your alumni can do stuff, 7 wins is not going to cut it. Like, we've had our lost decades. We've done those things. And, you know, we had the era before Simmons. You know, we had Earl Holmes. We had Alex Woods. We had Joe Taylor come in and resurrected for a little bit, but mediocre is not it. Like, I love how all of us keep having our college game day retro. And I'm looking because I have a towel. It was my closet fell. Thank you, Pops. My dad can't help me fix it. And I got to get some more things to finish it up. But I found when my closet fell, it knocked down some of my stuff from college game day. And so I was there. I was at college game day. How many of y'all remember when college game day was over, right? What it was like at Bragg? I'll wait. Because guess what? A lot of y'all wasn't there. That game was not a sellout. Like, wasn't close. You literally had college game day. You had all these people, FSU fans, FAMU fans, black people, white people, the police over there bothering them, Washington State folks being jerks. And I mean the police, FAMU police was being jerks. Then I walked down to Bragg. Man, that stadium was ghostly. It might have been 10,000 in that stadium that day. Like, let's be honest about this. FAMU folks are fickle. Like, to this day, we got Lee Corso up there with his fangs, with the FAMU thing, waving and bragging. Our jokers ain't show up. We did play Hampton. Y'all ain't show up for that. I was there. I've been to a lot of FAMU games and sitting in the rain. Hey, tell my parents I'll see y'all when you get home. I'll see y'all. I'm done. They're done. Sorry. I'm gonna stay to the end. I'm just saying, you got to fix this fast because there's so much to lose. And what you are not realizing is in today's era of the transfer portal, if that quarterback and any others hit the portal, what happened with your kickers last year? You went from having the best kicking team in the SWAC last season. By game 3, the worst. Like, one of the worst kicking situations in the SWAC last year. And all those kids transferred out and went to better schools. Like, all the kickers. So, with this quarterback situation, man, you 2 transfers away from being back to last year. Like, some point you got to play the game. Yeah, I picked Miami to lose. I might have been wrong. And look, I'm just saying. And look, you got to do something. Like, and look, too much talent. We have too much talent. Like, and the worst of it is, especially with football players, they know how talented they are. Like, and they scored a touchdown. They talk to each other. Like, y'all see Postgame, those football players know each other. It's not, I don't know you, you don't know me. Nah, you from the crib, you from the crib. Like, they still talk to each other. They hit up each other on social media. They show each other love. Like, they don't hate each other. Hey, man, look, Marvin, I was so proud of the boys, man. I doubted them. I ain't gonna hold you. Look, y'all don't know, I'm a huge Florida State fan, but man, when I tell you I protect my mental faculties, look, at the last season, I told y'all, Willie Taggart era when I got my master's degree. That is, I don't know how long he's gonna stay though. Boy, I saw a scathing write up about the Alabama coach. They already talking about getting him out of it up, boy. But this is a game you can't lose, and this can't happen again. I mean, the 220 Club meeting. I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched the 220 Club meeting yet. It's not because I'm not interested. It's just this year the way my schedule lines up is not as convenient. Whereas last year, my work schedule, I could like chime into 220, catch piece of it, and kind of keep it pushing. This year is not as friendly. That 220 meeting is gonna be uncomfortable because a lot of your fans are gonna ask the questions, and they're not media people. Like, somebody asked me the question, like, in the media, why don't you just ask, every question that comes? I'm like, man, I can't ask every question that comes in my head because y'all know I'm like, y'all, why the hell you do this? Why are you doing that? Why is that kid still out there? I mean, I remember how many times I would be like, Willie, why are we not running the pistol? Like, I asked him that for a long time. He finally did it. and it worked. But media credentials are not a right. It's a privilege. Like I'm fortunate enough to be able to come in there and ask questions that I feel like you all might have. And I might ask the question about the OL. Like, how you feel about the O-line? But that 220? Doc, them folks, look, you already know, Coach. It looked like RJ was struggling. Did you think about putting in another one? Coach, he's holding the ball too long, Coach. He's staring down receivers. Coach, they're going to say everything you and I saw. Because guess what? They got ESPN Plus just like me. And guess what else they got? Time. It's 12 o'clock in the middle of the day. Them folks retired. You know what they did? They watched Swope Report. They watched ONG Strike Zone. Some of them might even watch Fangs Up. Because I've seen my questions pop up on there too. Coach, this ain't looking good. How you going to keep the fan base, Coach? And you know they're going to ask them questions. You know it. And they ain't going to want to hear really, really, really. And that's not the standard. And they darn sure don't want you to say that's not the damn standard because you can't be cussing in there. Like, just saying. Transfers, APR money, attendance, win losses. Let them know, Miss Collins. Like, that stuff you already know. So that 220 meeting, I think that's where the fire get hot. And the mac and cheese, I heard the mac and cheese was sometimes it's on point, sometimes it's not. Y'all gotta ask Gerald about that. But that's one of the beauties of a place like FAMU. Who else has that? Who else has 220, Fangs Up, penalty talk, Fang exchange? You saw where Bishop Bonnet's about to do something. Like, man, you're getting scrutiny. And it's honest. I think it's balanced. It's just me. And I think it's fair. Because after a game like this, man, come on. You and the worst of it is what's coming for FAU. Like, I ain't gonna blow it. I ain't gonna blow smoke up your keister. You know what's coming. B2A. And they just got beat by Maryland. And you roll that kill out there all you want to. I'm telling you right now, you thought the rushing yards are bad this week. You'd be lucky to get 100. Like, real talk. You'd be lucky to get 100 yards with that crap that you just rolled out in Miami. That's not going to happen. Because all he's going to do is check down. What they're going to do is they're going to play man or a short zone, and they're going to sit on the short routes, and they're going to dare him to beat them deep. And if he can't beat them deep, and after he throw 2 picks, and he started doing like this, then you're going to really be like, oh, crap, we got to pull this kid. Like, football's simple. It's chess, right? What's up, Watson? Look, if we lose next week, you can expect attendance to go down. I know Keeson, realest guy in the room. How you doing? Win. Like, it's what it's gonna be, man. Like, FAU with if you are not scoring more than 15 points on a Howard, you darn sure aren't gonna score more than 20 points on a FAU. I don't care how long the coach has been there. Their talent is comparable. In some areas, it exceeds what you have. Exactly. He's too conservative. He's holding the ball too long. Does he make the turnovers? No. But at some point, there's a liability to being a perfectionist. And I feel like RJ is going to be a really good quarterback if he stays at FAMU. But the problem is, right now, he's a perfectionist. I don't need a perfectionist at quarterback. I want perfect results. But I need somebody who's going to sling the rock. I need you to get rid of the ball. I need you to make a decision and live with it. Because I would much rather, as I told y'all, Rashawn McKay was the better game manager. Jeremy Musa was the better quarterback. Who was going to give you more turnovers? Musa. Who was going to give you more turnovers? Ryan Stanley. Who was going to move the offense? Even though Ryan Stanley never won the Florida Classic. Musa and Stanley. And it was a difference. Like, it was a noticeable difference. In this case, Thank you. No risk it, no biscuit. And the problem is he's holding the ball so long that he's throwing the ball in double coverage when he does risk it. And so you're like, you held the ball too long, you missed your receiver, and now you're throwing it to a check down that's doubled. How many times you threw the double coverage? Like, I don't think FAU is going to kill your attendance. I think it is what it is. I think Albany State and Alabama State is going to be interesting because, say what y'all want to, and your body look good against a bad UAB team, but a UAB team that I think if you would play them would have dropped 50 on you, or not 50. They probably would have dropped 30, but your offense wouldn't have gave much. You were not doing what Andrew Body did. So you can't win the game being that conservative. Like, hey, I'll even at 0-2. We lost nothing for us making it to Atlanta. This is true. First 3 games are literally just preseason games. But the problem is, it's the optics. It's how the fans look at it. Because right now, the first 3 games are the games where you got to recapture the fan base. You got to get them excited for the swag. This is where you kind of try out stuff. You figure yourself out. But your first 3 games are literally where you're going to figure out what you're going to be for the swag play. And that's very important because, fam, you could very easily go 0-3 and win the swag. You could. Because let's be honest, Jackson didn't look special. In that Hampton game, I don't know if you saw it, Jackson didn't look like the best team in swag. Alabama State looked like the best team in swag this weekend. I'll be honest. I thought FAMU looked mid. Honestly, I thought we were bottom half, for being honest. That showing, bottom half. And look, exactly. Look, I'm done with this foolery. I said it before this season. No excuses. Not at all. And look, I'm just saying, our defense would have held the UAB to 21. You think so, Molo? I like that. That defense was fire, man. That defense is on fire, man. Look, when I tell you, them jokers made me so proud. If the offense would have scored a touchdown, we would have won. But if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk and high, right? If we go 0-3, take us to the showers. I agree. Look, man, please. You lose Albany State. I don't think you will. I think you beat Albany State. I think that'd be your first win. I also think that's going to be Jets' first game. I think by the Alabama State game, Jets starting. And that could be wrong. But if Jets on the roster by Alabama State, I think he starts. And that's just my opinion. I think much like last year, how change came about after the Mississippi Valley State game, I think the same thing. I think 0-2, you're desperate going into Albany State. I think RJ is going to come in there and it's going to show you more of what you saw from the Howard game, where he still needs time to develop, And I think it's going to be that post game where we're going to be there. It's going to be that post game of, coach, we've seen enough of RJ. As media, we got to speak for what the fans are saying. Are we going to see a change of quarterback? Because you roll him back out there against Alabama State, and we see what we saw against Howard, the media room's not going to be nice. And worse than that, the stadium's not going to be nice. Because you can beg people to come all you want. Nobody's watching losers. And the problem is you got winners. You got a room full of winners. You got a team that deserves to be in competition for the SWAC championship. But the decisions that are being made don't seem to support that vision. So, yeah, man. You look, you got to throw the ball. You do. Because otherwise, they're going to take it away, man. Look, just saying. Like Tony Dungy's Bucks teams with the defensive line with an offense that couldn't score. Yep. And fired his behind and hired John Gruden and won a championship. And John Gruden been living off that championship ever since. Oh, man. Look, I ain't going to hold y'all, though. Look, Brad Johnson, OG, man. I appreciate that, man. Look, Brad Johnson, I worked at Publix, man. He's trying to slip me a 50 one time as a tip. I was like, hey, man, appreciate it, bro. As far as QB, I blame the coach, because if you have an inexperienced QB and he's not seeing the open receivers, that is on the coach to teach. I agree. And I also will add, if you see he's missing it and you yourself admit that the other guy would have hit it, no, did he? Then it's your job to put the other guy in the game. Just saying. So, all right. We're gonna get up out of here, man. Look, if y'all so inclined, Brian from the ONG Strike Zone and myself, we try and do a little something on tomorrow. Might do a little, a little post-game weekly thing, similar to what we do here, but you get the benefit of having two of us on there. So y'all already know we try to keep things going, man. So when it comes to the pick'ems, how do we do? Hey, man, if y'all missed it, the official pick'ems, we went 4-1, man. So FAMU was the only loss, and so I am currently in 7th place, not out of my usual first place, man. So has my season prediction changed? Absolutely. I had FAMU at 9-3 going into that. I reserve the right on that North Carolina Central as well as the Jackson State games. Yeah, man. How do you join the pool? Check Brian's. It is on Run Your Pool. Check Brian's on Dr. B on Twitter, and I think the link might still be open. But for answer Mike's questions. But yes. But yeah, my prediction changed, man. This was a 9-win team to me. I honestly, if I'm being honest with you, in my heart of hearts, I felt like this was a 10-win team. I felt like FAMU could easily win every game except for the FAU game. But now after losing to Howard and seeing that RJ is probably going to be the quarterback for at least the first 3 games, I don't have very much confidence in the Southern game, largely because they can score more than 9 points. Their defense isn't stellar, but I've had confidence FAMU would win that game. I had very little confidence in the Alabama State game, if I'm being honest. That's a game where my opinion has changed. Alabama A&M didn't blow me away. I know they played a superior talent, so I definitely have gone from a 9-3 to another 7-5. So if you don't make some serious changes at the quarterback, Jay, I think FAMU is another 7-5 season, and I think another 7-5 is the seat's hot. And I think at 7-5, change is not afoot, but it is clearly stated by those board of trustee members that are very involved in athletics that they will be looking for a replacement, and they will not expect to make a renewal. And I fully expect for them to reach out to a Teddy Bridgewater. Look, somebody at a Division II, maybe, even though y'all know how I feel about that. I just saying. Look, you want that? Like, as one of my students would say last year, you need that? Like, woo, buddy, that's a tough one right there. But yeah, that seat, man, it's gonna be 500 degrees hot. Yeah, Valley did stick close to Southern, but that game was in Valley. Like, granted, the feel ain't what it used to be, but it's just saying. I'm just saying, I really could see that call. Like, I done told y'all, for me, it's Teddy Bridgewater. Like, if I ever had to make a move, the first call I'm making is Teddy Bridgewater. Like, that's just me. Like, it's the same stadium I saw yesterday. Look, I'm with you, Mike. Look, I'm looking at this game right now, and I'm like, first and foremost, shout out to that field crew, because that does not look like it did look yesterday. But also stand-wise, you when people showed up. So, like I told y'all, some people made a business decision. Some people went to both games. All right, y'all. Again, Monday, we're going to try to do a little something. I might not be in the friendly confines of the studio here. May have to move to another part of the area. But we will be doing something tomorrow. And y'all know Thursday, we're going to do our score predictions. And we're going to look at this FAU game Tuesday, man. Supposed to do a little something. We might record something with FAU 2 people. So, look, the studio's going to be hot and the wife's going to be mad. So, but it is what it is, man. We got to do what we got to do. And we'll see. If I get a little, if I can get a riding partner, we might ride down to FAU. Otherwise, I ain't driving down myself. I'm not. I can't. 45 to 10. Whoo. Man, right now I can't see 10 points with that garbage. We're going to see. All right, y'all. For everybody, HBCU Digital Network, catch us. We will definitely do our best to be at that first game. We will have the post-game interview. If we, make sure all of our stuff is where we need to be, man. Y'all know what's up, what it's always going to be. Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey, have it.